ladies, with Pride coming up, I wanted to do a very special Pride edition of my vlog here for you folks. So I'm going to talk about old prides that I've done, past prides that I've done, present pride expectations, and drugs and dating and all of those other things, and clubs. We're not going to forget those. All right, so the first time I was ever at Pride, I was actually on a float, believe it or not. I was on a float, and I had actually stayed at my friend's Chantel's place that night. So it was me, Chantel, and Chantel is Fahrenheit, by the way. Me, Chantel, and Destiny Love, and we stayed at her parents' place out in Richmond Hill. It was a really nice place, but it was just because it was a lot more convenient to get to where we were going from there. So we're driving, we get caught in a speed trap. We're going over a bridge. One side says one speed, the other side says another. And so we get caught, and this cop stops us, and here I am. P.S. I wasn't yet Samantha, the transsexual woman yet. I was Samantha, the drag queen entertainer. So I was dressed as a boy from here down, and I was putting on my makeup in the car. So the cop comes up, and he, like, without even missing a beat, he's like, you know, you were speeding, blah, blah, blah. And he starts talking. I'm like, look, I'm really, really sorry. If you're going to give us a ticket. Otherwise we got to go because I'm on a float and I'm already late. And he was like, okay, no problem. I believe that Fahrenheit got a ticket. I'm sorry, honey. It was so long ago. I believe she got a ticket, but I'm not really sure. So we're driving down to Toronto from where we were as fast as we possibly can. And here I am putting on my makeup in the car. And I'm not talking like fixing my mascara. I'm talking putting on my fucking lashes, fixing my brows, everything in the car. Now this is talent, by the way, because I actually looked really good when I got out of the car. So because I don't know where we're supposed to be, I didn't really get the proper directions as to where I'm supposed to be. It was supposed to be a Rabba or a Hasty Market on Church Street. Well, at the time, I didn't know that Church Street extended past Bloor, so I went to the Rabba at Isabella and Yonge, which is between Yonge and Church. Nothing. Okay, wait, hold on. Backtrack a second. I forget my shoes in Chantel's car. I have no shoes. Chantel's already gone to find a parking spot, which if you've ever been to Toronto near Pride, it's not exactly an easy place to find a fucking parking spot. So she drives God knows where to park the car. Destiny is with me, and Destiny has her shoes with her. And I'm like, honey, I need to borrow those shoes. Like, I'm on a float. Like, I can't get on with no shoes. That would just be really tacky. Let me tell you something. My feet are a gigantic size 11. Destiny Loves, that lucky fucking bitch, is like a size 9. Fuck you. She's also 5'8". Fuck you again. So I borrow her shoes. Let me tell you, I had to use KY to get into these shoes. They were so tight, I had to keep taking them off for circulation in my feet. So we finally get to the place where I'm supposed to be on the float. And I've got no place to change. So I go into the Rabba that's there, the Hasty Market, and I'm like, can I use your bathroom? And the girl's like, no, I'm sorry, it's staff only. I said, can I speak to your manager for a second? So the manager comes out. I tell him what's up. I said, you know, I'm really late. It's only going to take me a second. I really need to change to get on the float. And he was like, yeah, no problem. It's back here. Shows me back to the bathroom. Of course, when I walked out, I did a to the cashier that said, no, I'm sorry, it's staff only. Bitch, please. Thank you very much. Okay, and so then I'm on the float. I have yet to eat anything, and it is a blistering hot day. And I'm wearing practically nothing. It's this yellow little getup and yellow shorts. I'm going to talk to Dean and see if I can get a picture of it, because I used to own it. I was able to keep the outfit, and I used to have it for so long, and then I lost it. I don't know where it went. But yeah, so this is where it gets so much fun. And now we're introducing another character, Donnorama, you bitch. So I hadn't eaten yet. And if anyone's ever been on a float, the bar that you're doing the float for tends to treat you very good afterwards. I think that Dean probably gave me about 2 or 3 arms length worth of free drinks. I'm talking like that. So I must have had at least 30, 40 drink tickets. And I, of course, used every one of them. So, hello, have we met? So, I'm drinking. I have heat stroke. I'm so drunk that I go down to the bathroom and I throw up. To make room for, by the way, more alcohol. Because at Pride, they're not really checking to see if you're drunk, right? They're just checking to see if you're spending money. And I always tip. See, that's my thing. When I brought up a drink ticket, I always tip. So that was always like a little thing for me. And so then this Scottish guy, comes over and he's got this kilt and he's like waving it in my face. And of course, I'm already like heat stroked and not feeling well. So what do? I lean out the window of Woody's to get fresh air. Well, fresh air turns into an article about me throwing up out the window of Woody's in Fab magazine by the ever so goddamn classy Donnorama. You're lucky I love you, bitch. Actually, at the time, she had been writing for Fab magazine and no one knew who was writing except for her and maybe like a few other people, but I didn't know because while we were friends, we weren't like super close, so I didn't know that. It wasn't until later on that I found out that she had been writing the articles. Meanie bucket. So then, right? That's my first ever Pride experience of my entire life. Well, about a couple of weeks later, maybe, or no, it was the next summer. So the next summer, I decided to go to Pride Day at Canada's Wonderland with my friend Tiger Lily and a whole bunch of other friends as well. So we're there, and I don't really have any boy type underwear, so I'm just wearing what I have as a girl, and I have a t-shirt on over top, so like people can't really see that I'm, you know what I mean, like I'm just being, you know, kind of incognito. So oh, this is so embarrassing, but it's out there, it's already out there, so I'm just repeating it. So I go up on the bridge at Splash Mountain to cool down. As I'm there, we get hit with a little bit of water. Can you guess where this story is going? Oh, God. My business fell out of my underwear. All of it. Ta-da! Whoa! And lo and behold, who gets a hold of the story but dun-dun-dun-dun, Donnorama. She writes about it in Fab magazine about my testicle being hanging out. And listen, this is not the end of embarrassment for this particular episode. Later on that year, there's another event at Wonderland. Another like gay day at Wonderland. Not Pride, but it was gay day at Wonderland. And one of the comedians is doing a skit. I'm sitting there with my friends. Does this motherfucker not start talking about the tranny with the ball out? And I'm like, oh my God, that story's about me. That's totally about me. And I couldn't stop laughing. So after those 2 fairly humiliating episodes at Pride, I sort of stopped going unless I was with a lot of friends who were able to take care of me. Oh, and P.S., I wear pants now. Just so we're clear. Yeah, okay, so that was like, those are my Pride experiences. Recently I went to Pride as well with some friends. You know what I hate about Pride is that you genuinely find out who your real friends are, because your real friends will stick with you, they'll hang out with you, they'll do whatever. Your fair weather friends want to hang out with 100 other people and could care less if you went missing. right? So yeah, so this year's Pride, I've actually decided to volunteer. I forget what the label is, but I'm just like an ambassador. Like I'm just like helping people find things and like stuff like that. So nothing major, but I decided that this year I wanted to volunteer and maybe give out some of my flyers at Pride. So I thought I could kill two birds with one stone. I thought that would be the very smart thing to do. So now let's talk about drugs. Drugs and pride sadly go hand in hand. Whether you like it or not, in the gay community, drugs have always been sort of prolific. It's sort of one of those things, and that's fine. If you're doing drugs responsibly, I don't give a shit. I don't care. If you want to do an 8-ball of Coke, who gives a shit? As long as your bills are getting paid, I am not one to judge you. But let's start talking about doing drugs responsibly. By responsibly, I mean this. It's going to be a weird thing to do, but it's a smart thing to do. Try to keep a pen and paper with you for the night. Write down on that paper, this is what I took. I took E. I took 2 hits of E. I snorted a vial of Special K. I smoked a joint. And I know that it's going to be hard to do those things. However, if you can keep a list and something happens to you, people will know what you're on and they'll be able to help you. Because there's certain medications they don't want to give you if you're high on E, and there's certain medications they don't want to give you if you're high on G. If you're sticking to one drug for the night, then write it down. I took Coke today. I did Coke. I did E. I did G. Do those things. Also, text a sober friend. This is so important, especially to the young ones out there. Text one of your sober friends and say, listen, I am going to party tonight. I'm going to be doing some drugs. Can you check up on me tomorrow morning and make sure that I'm okay? Can you check up on me tomorrow night and make sure that I'm okay? Can you check up on me tonight and make sure that I'm okay? I know it sucks to ask your friends to be your babysitter, but the reality of life is that with all of the chemicals that are going into drugs right now, you have to be safe. Yes, life is about having fun, but it's also about surviving the night and living to tell about your epic story of all of the things that you did during Pride. We don't want anyone dying at Pride, and this is the only reason why I'm doing this. A couple of other things to keep in mind. Always, always, always have money in your wallet for a bottle of water. Believe it or not, that should have saved your life. There's not always drinking fountains around, and sadly when it comes to Pride, I'm very skeptical about walking up to a fountain that's been placed there for you to drink from. And that kind of scares me. It kind of freaks me out. No, not good. Otherwise, I think that, yeah. Now, let's talk about dating. Dating in general can be really, 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 really hard. Really hard on anyone, whether it's cisgendered, non-transgendered women, or it's trans women, gay men, straight women, lesbian, gay, bisexual, everyone. Dating is hard. But dating in the trans community is that much harder. There's a certain stigma that comes along with dating a transgender woman if you're a straight man. Questions get asked that are completely inappropriate, and yet they're asked. So people feel the need to answer them. Instead of standing behind the, it's not your business, most guys that I've dated have been like, oh yeah, she's trans, or yes, she's had reassignment surgery, or no, she hasn't, and all those other things. And for me, I always will go with whatever my boyfriend says. If my boyfriend says that I've had reassignment surgery, well, then I've had reassignment surgery. My boyfriend says that I haven't, then I haven't. What is between my legs is my business and my boyfriend's business. It's not his parents' business. It's not his sister's business. It's not his cousin's business. It's not my friend's business. It's no one's business at all unless I'm being romantic or sexual with you, what's between my legs. It's not your business. You wouldn't walk up to your friend who's cisgender, non-transgender and say, hi, so how's your pussy today? You wouldn't, well, I mean, sadly, there's some people that would. You know who you are. But there's people that would do that. But the reality is that's completely inappropriate. It's inappropriate to do to your friends. It's inappropriate to do to trans women. So dating can be very difficult. I think that's probably why so many trans women stay in abusive relationships. It's probably because of the fact that it's hard for us to find love. So when someone says it to us, it's that much harder for us to walk away. Because a lot of times we haven't gotten love at home or from our friends. We've been sort of ridiculed and pushed away, pushed to the side, called names, and been mean to our entire lives. And so when someone says, I love you, we just, oh my God, we hold on to that, and we hold on to it as tight as possible. And so, so relationships are really difficult. And the reason why I want to talk about relationships just after I'm talking about drugs is because we're all going to be at Pride this year. If you've just gone through a breakup, I'm telling you right now, this is not the time to do drugs. It's not. It's not the time to get shit-faced or anything like that, because drinking is only going to make your depression worse. Drugs are only going to mask the depression until the drugs wear off. And then you'll be even more depressed. We used to call it the Monday morning after, because you would do ecstasy on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, and then Monday morning, because of what it does to you physiologically, Monday morning you would be incredibly depressed due to the drugs that you had done on the weekend. But that's ecstasy. Like, I mean, there's other things as well, but like, really, that's the reason why I wanted to get into this. A lot of people will be breaking up this Pride, and I want to say, be safe. Use a fucking condom. AIDS is not over, and it may not be over in our lifetime. So unless you want to catch some sort of STI, STD, or whatever the fuck you want to call them nowadays, use a condom. I don't care if that motherfucker told you you're the only person he's having sex with. Unless you've gotten his paperwork back that says he is STI and STD free. Oh, and by the way, make sure you look through the paperwork, because if he has tested positive for any STI, STD, or she has tested positive for any STI, STD, it will show up in their history. If they've had chlamydia, gonorrhea, anything like that, syphilis, it will show up in their history. So unless someone shows you paperwork that's up to date and recent, not a year ago, within the last 30 days, use a condom. And even if they have shown you paperwork, use a condom. If this is a one-night stand that you don't plan on seeing again, do you really want to tarnish the memory of having sex with that hot, beefy muscle guy, or that big bear, or that skinny little twink, by finding out that you caught an STD from them or an STI from them? Is that what you want to remember about that day? Because if you have sex without a condom on, that's basically what could happen. Just be safe. Pride is about love and about being able to be yourself. So be loud, be proud, but be safe when you're doing it. As always, I thank you from the sincerest part of my heart for tuning in. I know that this was a very long rant. I hope that you can sit through all of it. As always, please don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. I will catch you all on the flip side, folks. Happy Pride!